Pittsburgh, with no doubt, is faced with geological, ecological, and infrastructural challenges. Steep slopes, soil types, historic undermining, and development practices have all led to challenges in managing rainwater and creating safe neighborhoods. A particular issue in addressing these challenges is that they're often happening underground, where it's difficult and expensive to monitor.
Water problems, they're out of sight, out of mind, hard to detect. So we may not always know when there's particularly high flows or there might be a water main break. Okay, my name is Beth Dutton. I'm a senior project manager at Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority. Geohazards, including landslides and underground flows, can impact our aging infrastructure, and this is exacerbated by the increasingly intense rainfall events.
Yeah, so I'm Kayla Prendergast. I am a senior environmental planner with the Department of City Planning. My role is mostly around stormwater planning efforts, as well as sort of other land use concern in situations where, we really have to kind of take action. It's after kind of a disaster. So a major flooding event, a landslide, these are all, emergency situations. We don't really get to respond as we would necessarily ideally like to. We don't really usually have the luxury of having the pre-planning. We know about where there's sensitivities. We don't know exactly where it's going to happen. It always is sort of whatever the soil has decided that day.
What if we could utilize existing infrastructure to monitor what's happening below ground, such as water and soil changes that could locate a leaky pipe or predict a sinkhole? Distributed acoustic sensing, or DAS technology, does this by tapping into fiber optic cable that's already in the ground. Researchers attach a special laser and sensor called an interrogator unit to one end of the fiber optic cable, pulse the laser, and receive back a complicated signal. This is often displayed as a colorful graph called a spectrogram, where color represents the strength of the returning signal, while the position on the graph indicates the timing and frequency, or pitch.
Our teams think the technology, the fiber optical sensing we create, is a affordable and effective solution for the Pittsburgh geohazards issue.
This multidisciplinary team has partnered with Carnegie Mellon, the city's environmental planners, and Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority's stormwater team to configure a fiber optic route that utilizes local data such as landslide-prone areas and stormwater-related 311 complaints to intersect geological hazards as well as potential sources of interference or noise such as train tracks or a stadium and parking lot full of tailgaters.
Other barriers include, learning, getting staff up to speed on sort of what the technology is, utilizing it, knowing how sensitive to be or not sensitive to be. The biggest barrier that we have seen in this project is coordinating with utilities. We have to tap into infrastructure that we don't own at the city to do this work. And so there's a potential for inequities to happen because, maybe the infrastructure is really strong in areas that already sort of have a lot of resources, but maybe it's not so strong in other areas, and we don't want to have those other spaces kind of get left behind.
It's very expensive to install flow monitors in the pipes to try to see where the high stormwater flows are. Trying to identify and prioritize the best places to do pipe rehabilitation is always a challenge, so we want to always try to get ahead of that.
A traditional sewer flow monitor installed adjacent to the fiber optic shows the correlation between flow rates and DAS signal. Shown here are 3 periods. The event begins, rainfall intensity grows, increasing the discharge through the sewer, which is also shown as the DAS energy becomes stronger. In the 3rd period, the flow monitor and the DAS energy taper out along with the storm.
When rainstorm hit the ground, it causes strong noise and vibrations. So our data help us to quantify how much water pull on the ground and source.
The big benefits of this technology is using the existing fiber optic cable that was already in place in the whole city underground. So we can take advantage of this technology to monitor the geohazards in real time.
Instead of it being, oh my God, there's a water line that broke, send someone out right now. We're getting 20 calls to the dispatch 311. We're using a lot of staff energy to coordinate this and sending out crews, and maybe people are having to do overtime. And ideally we could avoid the emergency with this technology, which would be exciting.